Hi friends, I am Baswaraj Kurhatti, retired Head Scientific Information Resource Center at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. As you all know, Professor M.R. Kumbar's centenary celebration is being observed. He was an outstanding teacher in the field of library science. I was a student for 2 academic years, 1975-76 and 1976-77. when I did my DLISc and MLISc respectively. While Professor Kumbar was sharing his professional knowledge to all his students, he was also a guiding factor for students to take up challenges and was fully supportive to them. I narrate one such instance which happened in the year 1976-77 when I was doing MLISc. As a partial fulfillment of the degree course, each student had to was required to prepare a dissertation on a given topic. An exclusive time period was given to complete the assignment. Just before when the topics were being discussed, Professor Kumbar received from Bangalore University Library Science Department a thesis for assessment. I still remember the name of the student. It was Hashmathara. She had prepared a trend report on aromatic compounds which is essentially used in the preparation of perfumes. Professor was very much impressed by that work. He called me and asked me to prepare a trend report for my dissertation. Since it was an order from my guru, I agreed. After some topic discussions, the topic finalized was on vegetable edible oils. Since I had chemistry background, I also considered it as apt. Professor Kumbar advised me to seek guidance from Professor Badami, who was the head of the Department of Chemistry at that time, and he was also an expert in the concerned field. Initially, I did some literature survey in Karnatak University Library and also University of Agricultural Sciences. Later, I approached Professor Badami, who advised me to refer to their departmental library. I steadily started looking at the available literature. When I went deep into the subject, I was rather bewildered by the vast amount of literature published in the field. Well, my problem was how to codify this in the form of a report. However, I kept working on it relentlessly. The work involved was so much that I could not visit the department to report the progress of the work. Professor Kumbar was a little bit concerned about it, and one day he inquired with Professor Rajshekar, who happened to be my neighbor. In Kannada, he asked, Yellidanu Tamya? Tamya means he was fondly used to address all his Kannada students, which means younger brother. Professor Rajshekar, amazingly replied, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. But in reality, I was actually sitting in his house, sometimes till late in the night, and working with his guidance. Only a few days before the deadline, I could complete the work. The volume itself ran into 400 plus pages, including the annotated bibliography. I then went to the department to meet Professor. After seeing me, he looked very furious, and there were a barrage of questions. Where were you? Why you did not turn up all these days? Where is your dissertations? All others have already submitted theirs. I just took out all the volumes and kept them on his table. He instantly cooled down. He took a copy of the dissertation and glanced at it, and he was very happy with the work. Later there was Vivavos, and Professor Jakati was the external examiner. The first question that he asked me was, should I award you marks looking at the volume of the dissertation? Professor Kumbar, who was sitting next to him, said, it is up to you. However, everything went well in the Viva. The moral of the story is that Professor wanted his students to do the hard work to be successful in a future career. Although I had to do the voluminous work, I could meet the challenge which was expected of me from my guru. Also, at the same time, I had a great satisfaction of fulfilling his desire. In fact, the work done then actually helped me in shaping my PhD thesis later in my career. I considered the dissertation work itself as a tribute to that legend. Thank you.